is 8:30 on Tuesday, August the 25th. Time for the morning situation brief. First of all, no changes to the National Terrorist Advisory System overnight. A snapshot of the region, you will see the updated numbers from the unaccompanied children in the Rio Grande Valley. Declaration updates are shown right there on the screen. Oklahoma and Texas still continuing on, and Louisiana will be closing on the 31st, which is next Monday. No ongoing damage assessments to talk about this morning, and no fire management grant requests have been received. Now, as we switch over to the Geo platform, got some rain out there. Jonathan's going to talk about that in just a moment. First of all, no changes to the national or regional coordination center, both at level 4, as is the national watch and the regional watch, level 4. No changes to the status of our state EOCs, all are at level 4 except for Louisiana, which is at CAT team level, crisis action team level. No changes to the status of our IMAP. No shelters to talk about this morning, and no significant power outages. Before we turn it over to the Weather Service, as forecast, we now have Tropical Storm Erica out in the Atlantic. And as you can see on the chart there, it will be approaching our 120-hour mark late Thursday evening and into Friday morning as it approaches Puerto Rico. And the forecast track is as shown here. More details from the Weather Service, and we'll go back to the Big Mac and hand it off to Jonathan.
All right, thank you, Paul. So as you see right now, we've got some isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm activity through much of the region, with the most prominent area being just east of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Going to see that continue to persist this morning through much of the day this afternoon. We'll see additional scattered activity develop along kind of a stalled out frontal boundary, if you will, and then more activity back into the intermountainous terrain in New Mexico. And then also some isolated to scattered activity developing over portions of Oklahoma down throughout Louisiana. And then moving on through the rest of the day today, not expecting anything in terms of severe weather or high impact threats, just general thunderstorm, shower and thunderstorm activity. No severe weather to highlight with any of that activity. And then back out to the tropics, as you alluded to there, Paul, we had Tropical Storm Erica, named overnight about 750 to 800 miles east of the Leeward Islands at this point, moving westward about 20 miles an hour. And it is forecast to continue on a west to northwest track, just north of Puerto Rico, and become a hurricane at this point in the National Hurricane Center forecast as it reaches just south and east of the Bahamas, getting into Saturday and Sunday, but at this point is forecast to remain east of FEMA Region 6, as we'll see a pretty persistent upper level trough across the eastern United States, provide just enough westerly flow that we should see that storm steer clear and east of the region, and likely east of the Gulf of Mexico at this time. And other than that, no other activity seen out in the tropics. And there's a closer look on the track of Erica, again expected to become a hurricane this weekend as it works toward the Bahamas. But large-scale weather picture across the continental United States should likely keep that east of Region 6. But we will continue to monitor and the progression of that. If it would make any further west headway, keep you updated on that, but again at this point should remain well east. And again, no severe weather expected today across FEMA Region 6, just general isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. And you see there in the bottom right precipitation highest across New Mexico into eastern Texas, where we're expecting to have a little better coverage of general thunderstorm activity today. And then drought, we'll see the new outlook from that issue Thursday. But again, hopefully some of that rainfall today will alleviate some concern or bring some improvement in the coming weeks across eastern Texas and Louisiana and southern Arkansas. And then space weather remaining fairly quiet, geomagnetic storms in the unsettled to active range getting into Thursday. So that's, no one has any questions, that'll wrap up the weather portion for today.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that. If you have a question, go ahead and type that in the chat window. If you're on the phone, just ask the question. In the meantime, we'll take a look at the meetings going on around the region. Highlighted there for today.